All right,
we have to talk about the game that I am going to this weekend. I will be in Norman, Oklahoma for Auburn at Oklahoma. This is a game, Ari, you and I have had circled all offseason because of just the stories around it. The whole idea of Jackson Arnold, who Oklahoma threw away like trash, coming back to Oklahoma with a squad, because Auburn this year ain't Auburn last year. But Oklahoma this year ain't Oklahoma last year either. John Mateer has been everything they hoped he would be. Ben Arbuckle has been everything they hoped he would be. The offensive line is better. Michael Fasusi is everything they'd hoped that he'd be when they signed him. It looks like he's going to play. He missed the Temple game with the ankle injury that he suffered against Michigan. I'm talking about their freshman left tackle, of course. But I think he's going to play. Ari, I am so excited about this game. Oklahoma is a 6.5-point favorite. I'm actually a little surprised it's that high, but it's tracking similarly to the line in the Oklahoma-Michigan game from a couple weeks ago.
You had a one-on-one Mahomes. Which one of your children is your favorite?
Well, that depends on the day. We like Deion Sanders, I do have child power rankings, and that list is very fluid, and they know it. We keep them posted daily, and we keep them apprised of when they have a chance to move up, and if they're falling. So we never let them get too comfortable.
I don't know. I love them equally. They're my children. This is how I feel about this game, because you and I have, we don't hear about our good takes. We only hear about the bad ones. We had good takes that both of these teams would be much better than people thought, right?
Right. I was very high on Auburn. You were very high on Oklahoma. We were both generally excited about what they could be. And
I'm going to stick with the spirit of that in this show, because I want to reflect that. You and I both were high on both teams, but you were more high on Auburn and I was more high on Oklahoma. Yeah. So from the way that the line has moved, I believe it opened at 4.5. It's down. It's the 6.5. So I'm not getting the best number. We're going to find out, much like in the Utah-Texas Tech game, like which team is for real and which team might have some more warts than we thought.
Now, the difference between that game and this game is both these teams have a really good out-of-conference win already.
That's right. That's right. But now we're in the SEC, and we're gonna start to figure out which team is actually poised to make a college football playoff run and which team might be 1 year away. I am just going to go with the home team with the better quarterback. And I know that is a lot of points. I thought the spread would be more like 3.5. I think that the fact that it is a little bit larger makes me feel like marginally more comfortable with the gap that Vegas sees between these two teams. And I think that Oklahoma gets it done at home and wins by a touchdown.
It's interesting because I think I thought of this game all offseason as a potential loser leaves town match between Brent Venables and Hugh Freeze, and it's not that. It's not that at all. There's no desperation for either team in this game. Like, if a team goes into this game and loses by 2, there's no shame in it. That doesn't mean you're not going to go beat some other people. Like, if Oklahoma lost this game by 2, Ari, would you be more or less confident in Oklahoma's ability to beat Texas?
I would be as confident, I think, in their ability.
I don't think it would change anything. I want to tell you about Academy Sports and Outdoors. This is where you need to go for all of your tailgate needs, all of your sports needs. You got kids playing sports. You had to hit up Academy for, I don't know, I got to buy mouthpieces. I got to buy girdles, football girdles. So huddle up, football fans. Tailgate season is here, and nobody gets SEC fans ready for game day like Academy Sports and Outdoors. Swing by your local Academy store or shop online at academy.com to find grills, jerseys, and more. Fun can't lose, and neither can you with tailgate gear from Academy. Academy Sports and Outdoors is the official sporting goods and outdoor retailer of the SEC, but you don't have to be a fan of an SEC school to love Academy. You just need to go and get your grills, get your coolers, get your jerseys, get your cleats, get your bats, get your gloves, get it all at Academy Sports and Outdoors. Visit academy.com.
But I also think that your you've been around the SEC a long time, and I know Oklahoma's a new member, but they still have the spirit of the teams that are in it. They would be vastly disappointed, and you would hear a lot of negative Venables talk still. I still think that he would be right back in the doghouse. Like, I don't think
I think either one, like Venables or Freeze, whoever loses this game will be hyper criticized next week.
Here's the difference. I actually think, and maybe this is a column, I think that Hugh Freeze it has less pressure in this game because Hugh Freeze's benchmark for success this year is not as high as Oklahoma's. Like, Oklahoma expects.
Well, Hugh Freeze's schedule is not as hard as Oklahoma's, although they do obviously have some hard games.
Like, Hugh Freeze made a mistake in the offseason in saying that if we make a bowl game, that's good. But I do think that 8 wins at Auburn is a job-saving season, and I think an 8-win season, I guess depending on what it looks like at Oklahoma, could have Brent Venables in a tougher situation. So
I think Oklahoma's fine with 8 wins because the schedule is so freaking hard.
Yeah.
But I also don't think I'm not sure either team is headed for that. I think both these teams are headed for better than that, though I will say, like, who does Auburn play next week? Texas A&M. So they've got to be very careful because this is a really tough 2-game stretch. Like,
yeah,
you probably have to win one of these two if you want to make the playoff. And if you lose this one, that's an 8-ball to be behind going to Kyle Field.
Yeah.
So
I like what we've seen from Jackson Arnold. I like their receivers are productive. I like that
Eric Singleton got targeted a ton in the last game. He came out with a hip pointer. He hurt himself right at the end of the game against South Alabama. So I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming he's playing. I don't know if he's going to be completely effective.
Hope he's playing. If Auburn wins the game outright, not sure I would be surprised by that. If Oklahoma wins by 12, I don't think I'll be surprised by that. I'm going to go with the team that I said in my bold predictions would be a playoff contender because I think you need to win this game in order to do so. And I think that Oklahoma, like, it's crazy. I like Oklahoma's quarterback better, but I also know that Jackson Arnold might have something more in the tank. I think Oklahoma's defense is nasty as hell. And like, if Jackson Arnold and his team is going to cover the spread or win this game, you're going to have to show something today that maybe you haven't been put in a position to have to show yet. And I just, between Oklahoma's defense and their quarterback, I think they're a touchdown better still.
So the question here is what will Jackson Arnold do in this situation? This is Jackson Arnold's chance to prove, obviously, that he is better than what he showed in Norman last year, that it shouldn't have happened the way it happened. And the thing is, like, nobody at Oklahoma is going to say we shouldn't have changed quarterbacks because they are going to be thrilled with John Mateer. And I feel very comfortable saying that. Like, they're going to be thrilled with John Mateer. The rest of the season is going to go, and they're going to be glad they have John Mateer. But I do think they might come away saying we shouldn't have been so mean to Jackson Arnold because he's actually pretty good. And maybe he was in the worst possible situation last year with an offensive coordinator who was not, he kind of lost his fastball as a play caller, with an offensive line that wasn't very good, with receivers that all got hurt. Like, all of that stuff, it matters.
Yeah.
So I am it's hard to pick.
These are
this
hard
one.
games this week.
I do think, Ari, that if you're going to give me 6.5 points, I'm going to take them.
Okay.
Give me Auburn to cover here. I'm not supremely confident in Auburn. Like, I'm not going to go Auburn money line. I'm not that confident. But if you're going to give me that many points in a game that I think should probably be about a 3-point spread, I'll take the dog.
Yeah. And it did open at 4.5 and got bet up to 6.5. So we'll see what the line is later on in the week. But
maybe I'm completely wrong that Oklahoma defense is just incredibly nasty. When Fasusi's playing, their line is unstoppable. It may be that Oklahoma is the next big thing. Yeah,
I doubt that Auburn is going to be able to push Oklahoma around the way they pushed Baylor around. And then that's going to put some pressure on Jackson Arnold on the road in a stadium that he struggled with an entire crowd charged to root against him. I think that there's a lot there for him to overcome. I think he can overcome it. I like both of these teams. But I like too that we both picked on like the side that we were more confident in the offseason.
Yeah, because it's like I think we both aren't sure who's going to win this game, but we have a lean. Your lean is toward Oklahoma, my lean is toward Auburn, and I think that works. So I'll take Auburn to cover. You got Oklahoma to cover.
Yep.
I can't wait. I'll see you guys in Norman